Good morning. As we are preparing ourselves for getting back to normal, and the reality is there isn't going to be a normal again. It's going to be a new normal or the next normal. We as parents play a very important part in helping our children getting ready for re-entry, getting ready to go back to school. Today I'd like to share with you a few tips and hints on what can we do as parents to prepare our children for this very difficult and challenging time lying ahead. The first thing that we have to pay attention to is the practical things that we can do as parents to help our children cope with the practical things of being safe. First thing is face masks. It's very important that my child gets used to wearing face masks. They have now been at home for 9 weeks where they've never had to actually wear face masks. So in this time before school starts, before they go back to school, get them to start practicing wearing the face mask. Get them to practice wearing the face mask for extended times. It's going to be a challenge because we as parents need to make them less anxious about wearing the face mask. It's something for all of us to get used to. They're going to be back at school where they have to wear these face masks the whole time for 5 or 6 hours, and we need to train them how to do it. Another thing is social distancing. Children, youngsters, teenagers want to hug each other, want to have physical contact, but now they're not allowed to. So speak to them, make them understand that in this time they have to stay 1.5 meters away from their friends. They have to have a distance where they might have shared a desk with a friend now at times at school. They're now not going to be sharing a desk anymore. They are going to be placed in different desks. It might also be at school that where they are used to their own registered teacher, now all of a sudden they might have a different teacher because they're broken into smaller classes. Or they might have the same teacher, but they might be in a different venue, in a bigger venue where they can accommodate people at greater distances. We need to chat to them about washing hands, how to wash hands, how to sanitize hands, how to wash hands with soap and water for at least 20-30 seconds, washing my hands completely, and teach them how to do it. Encourage them to do it on a regular basis. Send hand sanitizer with them to school that they can sanitize their hands regularly. I think also we as parents need to have those deep discussions with our children, those discussions where we talk to them about how they're feeling, about what emotions they are going through. We have to realize that some of us have been back to the office, some of us have been working online, many of us had to work, continuous working online. So our lives to a certain extent has been carrying on. Their lives has changed completely, and with that goes a lot of different emotions, anxiety, worry, maybe even depression, feeling of sadness, feeling of being overwhelmed. It can also be at this time that they're very excited going back to school. They're very excited to do things again with their friends, to interact with their teachers. And I need to talk to them about these emotions, acknowledge their emotions. When I acknowledge and recognize their emotions, it helps them to cope with how they are feeling. Once we've acknowledged the emotions, once we've spoken about the emotions, we can talk to them about what can I do to manage my emotions when I do get overwhelmed, when I do get anxious. Things like taking nice deep breaths, things like thinking about how to react. One of the tools that I use with children is looking at a traffic light. Red light means stop, yellow light means be careful, green light means go. And to use that with the children when they are in a situation where they feel they're getting anxious, or they are getting overwhelmed, or they're getting angry or irritated. At this time to say to them, but see the red light, stop. Before you say or do what you want to say or do, stop. Yellow light, be careful. Think about what's a more appropriate way of doing it. What's a better way of doing it? Once I've decided on the better way, to implement it, to go and do it. I need to chat to my children about, at this time it's very important where often children, when they are anxious or getting overwhelmed, they make jokes about things. Now they're going to be in class and someone's going to sneeze or someone's going to cough and someone's going to make a joke about, oh, you've got corona. Tell them not to do that. Tell them that that could be a form of bullying. That teasing can make someone feel very bad. I, as parent, need to tell them these tips because I am the one that they've been with the last 9 weeks. They have felt emotionally safe and close with me, and I need to work with them and encourage them at this time. Also, it's important that I keep in contact with the school, in contact with the educator. The teacher is going to pick up things that I, as parent, may not have picked up. And I need to understand what is it that my child is going through. Get advice from the teacher. What can I do to help and support my child at home? Many people say children are the future, but no, children aren't the future. Children are currently the citizens of the world. And I can decide the generation going into life ahead, how am I equipping them? They've had this wonderful opportunity of spending 9 weeks at home, having this abnormal situation. And I can build on the tools that they've used in this time. They've had to learn patience. They've had to learn how to do things differently. Whether we're a generation of getting their impulses immediately satisfied, they've now had to learn to wait. They can't just go and get fast foods. They can't just go and do things. They've now had to learn to wait. And that is an amazing life skill. That's an amazing tool that I can use to help them going forward. I want to encourage you in this time where your child is maybe feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, where you might be feeling overwhelmed and anxious, not to put your emotions, your anxiety onto your child. It's important that they see that I am coping. And if you need to, please reach out to people. Reach out to your go-to person, the people that really support you. Reach out to them and say to them, I'm struggling at this time. Reach out to professionals if you need that help. At this time where everything is abnormal, where everything too often feel not okay. Remember this going forward. Our children depend on us. We need to help them. We need to support them in this time. I hope you have a wonderful day.